Welcome to Wrestling Talk in the Shop, where we cover all things professional wrestling, from new wrestling to classic wrestling and everything in between. We go to wrestling, we do some wrestling, and everything in the ring. Join us now for Wrestling Talk in the Shop.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Wrestling Talk in the Shop, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review of the, I know everybody's doing it, but we're going to give our thoughts on the Von Erich video. And
Movie.
Yeah, not video, excuse me.
The Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw. And anyway, it was a good movie. It was good for what it was. It was a Hollywood movie, not a documentary. So Chris Von Erich was not in there
At all.
and I thought, well, that's kind of shitty, you know. But really, what could they say about Chris Von Erich? What could they say about Chris Von Erich? Really, I mean, he didn't really do a lot. He had a lot of matches with Percy Pringle, you know, and the business was.
He lived in the shadow.
Yeah,
his older brother.
And the business was pretty. He had asthma and
Not
whatnot.
as big, sickly.
And he had asthma and bones broke easy. You know, he just wasn't. You know, he had a lot of matches with. In the USWA, you know, and because with Percy Pringle, and he teamed up with, I know Kerry teamed up with, the timelines didn't add up a lot, you know, and they didn't match up. Like, for instance, it had that Kerry lost his foot, had the motorcycle wreck, the night he won the NWA champion. That didn't happen then. But incredibly sad movie.
It was so sad. I bawled like a baby. I know the story.
But for what it was, I mean,
sad.
I thought it was good. I mean, it was, the characters, to me, matched up pretty good. I heard some people say they didn't match up, but that guy...
If you go back and look at the pictures of them, they look pretty similar.
Yeah.
The main character playing Kevin, you know, he's a big actor.
That was more of the story was more of a Kevin Von Erich. You know, he kind of followed him more of the whole movie, you know.
Right.
I thought.
It was really almost more his story, sort
yeah,
of.
and then
kind of his point of view.
in which that's understandable. You know, he's still alive.
He's the only one alive, so to tell it.
But I don't think he consulted on the movie. I don't think he consulted on the movie. And but that says a lot about the Von Erich family, the impact that they had on professional wrestling, because there's nobody else that's had a movie made about them. You know,
Hollywood movie.
A Hollywood movie. You know,
30 years later.
Yeah. You know, they're having that movie 30 years later. So, I mean, it's a good thing, you know. I mean, this is a horrible story, you know, but...
I mean, it's a good, you know, like a brotherhood, story about brotherhood, you know.
I wouldn't call it...
They all were.
I wouldn't really call it a wrestling movie. That's what... I mean, I wouldn't really call it a wrestling movie, but I seen where it's grossed like... What is it gross?
That's what I was trying to look up and see.
I think somebody said $2.4 million or something. I seen that. You know, so that's not just a blow out of the way, you know, movie. But
okay, so it grossed $670,000 Thursday.
That's not really. I don't think that's really. I think it was $2.4 million for the weekend or something. Somewhere I seen. You know, pro wrestling's really taboo. You know, still even to this day. I seen somebody say that, you know. But if you know the story going in, you're gonna say, well, this is not right, that's not right, this is not right. But for what it is, it's a wrestling, you know, if a lot of people, I just feel bad for those people think they're
here it is, $6 million.
6 million?
Yeah.
6 million.
So that's not, you know.
I mean, what did it cost? What was their budget? Did it say what their budget was?
Okay, their budget was $15.9 million.
Is that what it cost?
Box office was, I guess opening day was like $2.5 million.
Opening day was $2.5 million. So I was pretty close to what I said.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But
I
mean, it's good. I mean, that's good. Says a lot. It's just really a sad deal. It didn't portray Fritz in a good way. And like I said, I don't know if we've talked about that before on this channel. Nobody really knows what went on in that family, you know, but because we wasn't behind that house, you know. But you got to think that didn't portray Fritz in a very good way.
No, it didn't. And it definitely kind of made him seem like a control freak.
Yeah.
That kind of used the boys, you know.
And But like I said, I can't.
Pitted them against each other. That's kind of how they put it on there. And it talked about how he ranked his kids, from his favorite. And he was like, Carrie's his favorite. And then who was next?
Kevin was number 2.
Kevin was number 2. And then David. And then
Mike, I guess.
Mike was last.
Yeah.
And then didn't talk about Chris. So, but
and that guy that played Mike, I mean, he got Mike's mannerisms down to a T. I mean, to me, that was a phenomenal part. And, anyway, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'll watch it again.
I don't know. It was sad.
They called it a federation. They never really called it. That was never, back in the day, it was never a federation. The only federation I ever heard of was the World Wrestling Federation, but the world class, what do they call it? World Class Championship Wrestling. That was a TV show name. That was not a promotion. Yeah, that was not a promotion. I know eventually it was eventually turned into the World Class Championship Wrestling Association, but that was when they left the NWA and whatnot, and it's.
I will say, if you go with someone that's really into wrestling, be prepared for them to sit there and be like, "That's not how that was. That's not right. That's not right."
But,
so, if you're with someone like that,
yeah,
they're going to talk the whole video.
It showed the big gold belt that Ric Flair defended. It showed that belt being defended against, Kevin. That belt was never in that promotion. By that time, that Jim Crockett was primary of the holder of the world title belt. That world championship belt was never defended in Dallas. But anyway,
certain little things. But it was a good movie.
It did have the 10 pounds of gold in there.
Yeah, talked about 10 pounds, and it showed the 10 pounds of gold.
Yeah, it showed the 10 pounds of gold.
I liked the scene where all the brothers reconnected. Showed them like in heaven, I think.
Yeah.
And that was sweet.
That was the saddest part to me.
That was sad, but it was sweet too.
I mean,
and it had Pam and Kevin's love story, and their kids. Didn't mention the other boy's kids,
Yeah, didn't.
At all.
Carrie had 2 daughters. They were never mentioned, and David had a baby girl that passed away, and I can understand why they didn't mention that, But anyway, that's going to wrap it up. Go see it. Support wrestling in every way you can.
See it. It was
Support
good.
Wrestling. It's worth a watch, and you can form your own opinion. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it? I give it a 7.
Yeah, about a 7 or 8. It was good. It was a good movie. I would go see it again.
Yeah. And,
maybe if I carry some tissues with me or something.
But anyway, when you're done opening your presents and eating your turkey, go see it.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Human interaction is good for the channel.